Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight I'm here to hop on and answer all the questions that you left for me on my community tab. Is a little bit of delay filming this, but either way, if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so I know that I didn't upload yesterday. I took the day off. It was glorious, and I just needed a little bit of a reset. So Axel and I hung out after I was done with my work, and we watched true crime documentaries. What else will we be watching? Y'all know. So it was a nice evening to relax, and I'm back. There are 62 questions. Hopefully this isn't super long. I'm going to try to not draw out every single answer. And if it's something that I've answered in the past, then I'll acknowledge it and just keep it moving, because I know sometimes these Q&As can get very lengthy, especially if I give 2-minute answers for each one. So the first one says, how did you meet your boyfriend? We met through work. So him and I were working at the same company. We met, we were both kind of newly single. I had been out of my relationship for a little bit longer than he had his. His ex was a little bit of a lingerer. And so we met through work. It was awesome, and I'm so grateful. Timing is everything, and it just so happened to work out. So, and then there's a question about kids here. I don't really like going down that rabbit hole right now. We're happy the way that it is. And then the last question is, what is the most romantic thing that he's done for you and him? I know that this is a really cliche answer, and a lot of people will say this and not necessarily mean it, but I'm not big into materialistic stuff. I don't demand presents and flowers and chocolates and stuff. Like, Valentine's Day is a total sham to me. I can't stand it. And as far as other holidays and stuff, we don't really buy each other really big gifts, but the things that we will incorporate is like trying a new restaurant or trying to go for a trip. Like, stuff like that is way more important to me than getting a big bouquet of roses. Like, I don't care about flowers. They're just going to die anyway. And so, yeah, I love just quality time outside of the house or at home too. But when we can get out and try a restaurant that we've never been to before, or go on like a little trip, like that kind of stuff, I think holds a lot more romantic value than getting a watch or a new handbag. Like, that stuff is not romantic to me at all. So the next one says, how do you calm yourself in stressful situations, like in the workplace or with loved ones? You don't seem like a drama queen that yells and loudly shuts the door. More like facts first, calm and collected kind of person. What's the inner dialogue that you have to stay cool even when the other person is in the wrong? Also, you said in one of your Q&A videos that you do not give second chances so you can protect your mental health, and I agree with that. So I was wondering how to do that when the problematic person is in our close family circle. I have a strong sense of family, and that's something so precious to me, so I give multiple chances, and a person doesn't change or doesn't care. It makes me so sad. So as far as keeping myself calm, you're definitely right in that guess that I don't run around yelling or slamming doors or anything. I am the type to want to shut down and just be by myself and really think about, how am I going to approach this? What do I need to say? What should I not say? Because so often you hear in different dynamics, it doesn't even have to be in relationships. It could be with coworkers, with friends, with acquaintances, where you'll say things that should have never been said because you didn't have that time to gain control of your emotions. So that's something that I always try to remember, because I do recall with my ex, when I was, much younger and not in tune with like how to control my emotions at all, there were some things said on both ends, but I'll take accountability for on my end that I should not have said. But that's also why I have incorporated this kind of like just shut down, be by yourself and reflect kind of thing. And that's helped me a lot. I also feel like thinking about the statement, picking your battles, has helped me a ton. Not everything needs to be some sort of argument or debate. Sometimes it's just better left unsaid. And I heard this saying once. It said, class is choosing to remain silent in front of fools. And that's also, to me, it ties in directly with picking your battles. Is this worth hashing it out? And do I care that much about this situation? Or should I save my energy for something else and save this debate for when it really matters? So I hope that makes sense. As far as giving second chances, that is something that is newer to me. And I feel like it's because in the past I did give so many chances, and I tried and tried again and tried again, and I would see the same repeated behavior from that person that I kept trying with. So eventually I just got to the point where I'm no longer going to spend my energy on hoping for a different result when it's been a repeat offender. It doesn't matter if it's a friend or a family member. When it came to me growing up, there were a lot of second chances given to my mom. And you guys know that that was a very colorful relationship that I had with her. And during those battles, it also showed me that at some point you have to just throw your hands up. And it sucks and it cuts deep when it's a family member, especially if it's a parent or a guardian, someone that was involved in your life for a long time, in other words. So it can be really, really hard, but I will promise you that once you get through the hard part of it, there's still tough days, but for the most part, you're able to move on. I always compared dealing with my mom. It was kind of like I was always waiting for the other shoe to drop. It took such a toll on my mental health. It started to take a toll on my day-to-day life. It started to take a toll on the stress that I was bringing into my relationship, because there would be days where I would just be really sad and really frustrated because I was expecting more out of someone who was never going to meet me halfway or admit fault. Or if she admitted fault, it was then combined with a guilt trip of something that I did when I was a kid or a teenager, So one day I will do a video about my mom. I don't know if it's going to be anytime in the near future. That is something that I have protected and kept off the internet because it's hard telling a story about that when there's so many twists and turns and there's so many layers to it. So one day I will share that story, but the reason I bring up my mom is just to say I understand what you mean when you say you care so much about family, and then it's hard to imagine just not talking to that person. And if you would have told me that about my mom, I would have not believed you, but I got through it, and it allowed me to gain so much peace and so much positivity in the form of not having mental health issues because of her day in and day out, or month in and month out, however often she decided to pop up and, cause a ruckus again. So, okay, next question. What type of job do you have as in category? Warehouse, retail? I would consider my job in the executive realm. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm very happy where I am, and I am very appreciative of all the chapters that led me here, but I feel very fulfilled in what I do right now, and I'm so grateful that I have a 100% work-life balance. Work 35 hours a week, very rarely do I ever get an email or anything after hours that I need to look at. I don't get calls in the evening or on Saturday and Sunday anymore from clients needing things. So it's absolutely amazing. And the icing on the cake is that the team that I'm working with and upper management is absolutely fantastic. It's a really healthy working environment. It's a really healthy learning environment, which is new to me compared to, previously. And I absolutely love it. So I'm super happy. But as far as a category, I would say executive. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, 2 questions. Your current hairstyle looks great and works for you, but I was wondering if you've ever thought about growing your hair out again. I would never have it long again, at least not as of right now, but I have considered having it maybe like right above my collarbone. So that's kind of what I'm working through now, to have more of a long bob, probably keep that through maybe until like next summer and then cut it shorter, but we'll see. And the second question is, are you planning on getting Axel a little buddy anytime soon? Yes, but we are not going to venture into that until we have a house with a backyard, because 2 dogs, especially 2 big dogs in an apartment, is just not fair to the dogs. And even though Axel gets a ton of time outside and, gets to go on little adventures and stuff, I still, as a dog owner, I don't feel like it would be fair to have 2 big Labradors in a small apartment. So the answer is yes, but just not yet. Okay, next one says, I feel like problematic YouTubers always make it to the top. I was wondering if you agree, and if so, what are your thoughts on this? Absolutely. Outrage marketing. I've done videos before on outrage marketing and, getting people to hate you in order to apply the all publicity is good publicity philosophy to their growth on the internet. And it sucks. It's just the way it is. I think that it's up to that individual person to say, is this the road that I want to take to succeed, or do I want to be my genuine self and not upset people and not piss people off? And it'll take a little bit longer, but at least then I know that I am not upsetting people. That's kind of the whole thing with me, is I'm being my genuine self, and I go out of my way to make sure that I don't piss people off. Now, do people take my opinions a little too seriously sometimes? All the time. I get it all the time. Do people twist things into making it seem like I'm some kind of toxic, problematic manipulator who is like, has a spell over my audience? Yes, all the time. However, I don't focus on, I always call it the clown car. I don't focus on people like that. I choose to continue to be my genuine self. Those who like me will, be here, and those who don't will leave. And I've had quite a few people leave. And I've said for almost a year now, doing commentary is like a revolving door for your subscribers. They will like you until a certain point, then you're going to share an opinion one afternoon. They're going to say, nope, I can't do that. I don't like that one opinion, so I'm leaving. And that's just what it is with commentary. I'm not going to shy away from commentary. I'm not going to be scared to discuss certain topics because of, maybe 5 people will leave my channel. And that's just a decision that I made for myself. I want to always be able to share my opinions with those who want to listen. If you want to listen for a certain amount of time and then you leave, awesome. If you want to stick around, awesome. If you never want to subscribe, awesome. But I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm not going to filter my opinions. I'm not going to shy away from discussing certain people. And I'm always going to do it with class. I'm not here to bully or cancel anyone. I can only think of a couple people that I've ever talked about that deserve to no longer be financially successful on the internet. And I've discussed a huge group of people on my channel. So yes, drawn out answer, but yes, I agree. Problematic people get into the outrage marketing side of things. They see that it generates clicks and views, and they would rather take the short road. But I will tell you that at a certain point, people are going to be sick of your BS and they're going to check out. And So I would rather take the slow and steady road and not upset people. But that's just what works for me. Whatever works for you is good too. How do you take care of your black clothes? What detergent do you use on them? What wash cycle? Since discovering your videos, I'm wearing more black clothes and I want to take better care of them. Couple things. Always wash them in tap cold water. I always put the setting on the coldest water that is available on my washing machine. Wash it on the delicate cycle with Woolite for dark clothes. Sometimes I'll switch it out and use the Tide for dark clothes, but I like the Woolite more. I think that it's a little more gentle on the clothing. So yeah, make sure that you're using a detergent that is designed for dark clothing. I also recently, over the last few months, have been using, I think they're called Defy. I'll put up a picture right here for you guys. You can buy them at Target. Walmart has it. So a combination of those and making sure that it's always on the delicate cycle, the coldest water that your machine can deliver. And if I dry them, which some of the stuff I dry, some I hang dry, but if they are going to go in the dryer, I put it on low heat and allow it to run for, an hour, and it's good to go. If you ever get black clothes and they get fuzzies on them, get yourself a little lint shaver. I'll put up a picture of that too. That has saved some of my black sweaters and things that can get like little, fuzz balls and stuff. And that has saved a lot of little mishaps that I've had along the way. Would you ever film a challenge style video? 30 days of not buying non-essentials. Oh, so that's like a no buy. 7 days of storytime vlogs, 14 days of answering different YouTube tags. That would be fun to watch. I could definitely do that. I don't think that I would ever do like 14 days in a row, but I do want to start incorporating different types of videos into my channel. So if there are really specific ones that you guys want me to do, send me a DM on Instagram, send me an email, leave a comment on this video, and I will screenshot it and save it for later. What do you prefer, indoor comforts and hobbies or outdoor adventures and explorations? Depends on the season. Once it gets below 65 degrees, I want to be inside. I'm always cold. I hate the winter. But in the summer, I love being outside. I love to take Axel places and all of that good stuff. So it totally depends on if it's hot or cold outside. Do you film your videos in front of your boyfriend, or do you film in private, and your comfort level regarding it? He's not around when I'm filming usually. He's typically at work. And if he is at home, then I come back here and I kind of like close the door. I wouldn't care about filming in front of him, but the schedule that I'm filming on, it just so happens to work out better to do it when he's not home. What are your thoughts on being friends with coworkers, managers? Do you think it's a good idea? I can only think of three people that I have been very good friends with at work, and it's worked out for both of us. As far as being friends with managers, I wouldn't, just because there's that power dynamic and things can get a little bit hairy. Now, when I consider being friends with a coworker, that's someone that I'm spending time with outside of the office, talking to them on a regular basis on my phone, going to dinner, getting drinks. If we're just cordial and friendly in the office, but I don't really talk to you or see you outside of the office, then that would just be, me being cordial or professional with a coworker. But yeah, I think with managers, that power dynamic creates a very, it can create a very sticky situation. Okay, not a question. I think you would have been a fantastic lawyer. That's so sweet. Now I can just argue my points on YouTube. So the next question is, this is a random question about hair. I have lost a lot of hair after having the panini in December of 2020. I'm so sorry that you went through that. I haven't had my hair cut in a long time, but my hair is shorter than it's been in years. Tons of breakage, layers all over the place that weren't there before. It's just a mess. I'm not a vain person by any means, but it's really starting to bother me a lot. I've been taking supplements that are supposed to help, and they've done no good after 9+ months of consistent use. So she is a strict vegetarian. Any product suggestions, any supplement suggestions? First thing that I would say is I would go to a seasoned hairdresser or, hairstylist, whatever you want to call it, and have them look at your hair, because I don't know what your hair looks like. It could need more heat protection. It could just need a good haircut to actually get it, get your hair kind of on the road to where it needs to be. As far as product suggestions, I always suggest something for heat protection. My holy grail is the Orbe Royal Blowout. It's expensive, but it is liquid gold. I never go without it. It's so amazing. As far as supplements, I don't trust supplements for hair growth. I'll link a video down below from Dr. Dre. She's a licensed dermatologist. She talks about hair supplements like sugar bear hair and stuff. So go check that out. But the first thing that I would do is find a really seasoned hairstylist and start there so that they can kind of diagnose what you need as far as products and possibly changing your haircut, like I said, to kind of get it on the road where it needs to be and go from there. So sorry I can't help, but I also don't want to just like throw a bunch of products at you and I don't know what your hair really looks like or what it needs. Ooh, suggestions for warm brown single eyeshadows. My favorite eyeshadows that are not at Sephora or Ulta are the ones that are on Yes Style. K-Beauty, Korean beauty brands make the best single eyeshadows. Go onto Yes Style, take a look at some of their eyeshadows, but as far as a small palette that's really easy to buy, Maybelline City Mini palette in Rooftop Bronzes. It has 6 shades. They're all shimmers. They're beautiful. And you can literally find it anywhere. It's been out for years. And I absolutely love that little palette. But if you want something that is literally a single shadow that you're not going to be able to really find day to day, go on the Yes Style and thank me later. What's your favorite thing to do on the weekend besides taking Axel for walks? Not really just like taking him for walks, but just like allowing him to see a new place and, have a new experience instead of just like where we walk typically. So definitely taking him places, getting carry out. I hate cooking on the weekends. Like I try to not cook dinner on the weekends. So trying a new restaurant, cleaning the house. Like I'm a homebody, most of the time I am at home a lot. I spend a ton of time at home and I like it that way. I can be productive here. I get things done. And it works for me. So, let's see. What's your favorite perfume? Budget brand or more expensive? So more expensive, Chanel Coco Mademoiselle. Love it. I've worn it for years. Budget, I would say R&Co Relative Paradise. It's not actually a perfume. It's like a fragrance mist. Smells so good, super fresh. So I'll throw a photo of the R&Co because it's a little tricky to find, but it's widely available online. What makes you happiest in life? If you can't narrow it down, top 2 or 3. Giving Axel the best life possible. I see so many times of videos of dogs online, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, where it's like something that just makes my stomach turn is seeing dogs that are abandoned by their owners or mistreated. And anytime I see those videos, it's like I want to save all the dogs. Like I just want to have a ranch and have like 200 dogs that can just roam free. And I think that's what a lot of dog lovers want ideally. But I always take that and I reflect it and think, what could we be doing a little bit different for Axel to make sure that the time that he has with us is the absolute very best? And obviously I donate to my local animal shelter and do other things like that. But yeah, making sure that he has a good life and helping out locally however that I can. Do you like going to spas? And if so, what are your favorite treatments? I love a good massage. I don't usually go there for facials just because, you know, the world that we're living in right now is so different. And I'm not just talking about the panini, but there are so many really good treatments that you can do at home. I know that I reviewed that LED face mask from Cure for you guys. That's amazing. You can do chemical peels at home that are a little more mild and can be managed in the comfort of your own home. But the one thing that you can't really match is a really good massage from an actual masseuse. Oh Lord, so good. But I haven't been in a long time. It had been a while since even before the panini, but I definitely obviously haven't been since then. What country would you like to visit one day? Definitely Latvia, since my grandmother was Latvian. I would love to go and explore Latvia. That would be amazing one day. This may be kind of personal, but have you had any conversations about race or racism with your father? If so, how was it handled? So my dad raised me to love everybody everywhere. It never had anything to do with treating someone better or worse based on their skin color. That was never a conversation that we had. It was, you treat people how you want to be treated. And simply put, like growing up, I went to public schools that had, all kinds of kids that were in my classes, so I do think that it starts at a really young age, the things that we instill in our children, and it's important. My dad is extremely open-minded, and he has always lived by the golden rule where, just treat people the way that you want to be treated. So my dad is extremely open-minded, lives by the golden rule, taught me from a very young age of how to treat other human beings. And he's awesome. He definitely started me out right. And I think that really follows people to their adulthood for sure. What's your favorite type of video to film or favorite topic to film? Really anything commentary related. Y'all know I love to get my unsolicited opinion for sure. How did you come up with the name Axel? Do you ever go bike riding? Have you ever been on a motorcycle? So Axel's named after Eddie Murphy's character in Beverly Hills Cop. And I haven't been bike riding in a long time. Like my boyfriend is a huge, BMX, mountain biking, anything on two wheels. As far as motorcycle, yes, I have. It's been a really long time. I've actually had a couple of friends that have died in motorcycle accidents. So after that happened, it scared me a bit, I'll be honest. And so yes, I have, but not in a long time. What's the creepiest thing someone has ever done to you? I had a couple, 2 different occasions where men followed me literally on my walk with Axel. And the one time I was really scared, I actually ended up calling the police to let them know because it was extremely scary. And after that man followed us, that's also the reason why I carry mace now. I've told you guys that before. It definitely put things in perspective. Where's your ultimate vacation spot? Anywhere that is hot with water. I'm good. And if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? Ideally, one day I would love to relocate to San Diego. Love San Diego so much. Your type, do you have a type? Or no? Yeah, I definitely have a type. I feel like my current boyfriend checks all the boxes for my type, which is good. That's probably why we've lasted for 13 years. And then she also asked, same thing as the last question, and would you ever move to said place if you had the opportunity? Absolutely. How old were you when you got your first pet? What kind of pet was it? I was 2 years old when I got my yellow Labrador that I grew up with. She was absolutely amazing, and that's also why I'm such a fan of labs. Do you carry any weapons on you to fend off creeps? Yes. As I said before, because of that one situation where the guy followed me, we ended up instilling mace, and that's why I always have it when I'm walking. Have you always been interested in justice, true crime, etc.? Absolutely, for a very, very long time. True crime never gets old. Has anyone ever told you look like Celine Dion? Yes, they have, and I think it's so weird. Do you have a very best friend? Yes. So my best friend I actually met when I worked at MAC Cosmetics, and he and I have been, we've had a couple of little lapses where it's like life gets in the way, but he's that guy that as soon as he comes back into my life, it's just like we hit it off and everything is good again. And the little gaps that we go through, it might be like a couple weeks where we don't check in because like life is just like that sometimes, especially once you are going to work and you're trying to manage your home life and things get crazy. But I adore him, and that's also why my position at MAC is so important to me, because I ended up meeting my best friend that way. Do you know anyone that's ever been to a Washington Wizards game? Yes, I have. Town. This person said, do you and your boyfriend spend much time together? We do, for sure. We take advantage of the time that we do have together. Our whole relationship, we've always kind of been on somewhat of a mirroring schedule. So he's always worked weekends. I've usually worked Monday through Friday, but we do our best and we take advantage of the time that we do have together. But we're also not the type of couple that has to be like on top of each other. He has his things, I have my things, and we're just not like, I'm not going to sit and cry if he isn't home on a weekend. You know what I mean? Like we'll spend time together later. It's not a big deal. Okay, are you a flower lover or no? Not really, because they all die. And then the last question is, do you play any video games? No, I don't. I don't know why video games have never really been interesting to me. I know that that's like a total shock to some people, but I've never really gotten into playing video games. I don't know, like I've tried to play video games at like friends' houses and stuff, but it's just nothing that I've ever really like picked up on. But I know a lot of people love it, so. All right, guys, so that's the last question that I'm going to answer. I hope that you guys did enjoy it. I'm going to post another Q&A, but it's going to be more topic specific. So that'll be going up maybe next week. I'm not sure. I'm going to leave a little time. I'm sorry for the delay in this video delivery, but life gets in the way and it is what it is. So either way, for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.